we in LA, but you know I love the Bay Area. That's always gonna be home. So I
Always.
love putting on for the people, the good people of the Bay Area, San Francisco and Oakland to be exact. My next guest, I actually first heard about her through my good friend Adrian Marcel. His album GMFU that released maybe like 2 years ago in 2017, and he was like, yeah, you know, like somebody who really helped me out with this project is actually my next guest, Jane Handcock. What's poppin'?
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you. You know,
Yes.
when you were pitched to me, I was immediately like, yeah, let's get her on. Just because, like,
Word.
you know, Adrian's word was like good for me.
Yeah, that's like literally my big brother.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of him. We can't get rid of each other.
Did you guys grow up in the same area?
So we grew up in like high school together. So we went to the same arts high school.
Okay.
Shout out OSA. And we had a band together. We were in band, school band together, and then we had our own band outside of school.
Oh, word.
Yeah, so
That's cool. So then
yeah.
what did you do in the band and what did he do in the band?
So him and I both were like the same kind of role, but just different genders. So
Vocalists?
he would
Okay.
lead, I'd lead. We teach each other, and like our friends, like you know, our little background parts.
Yeah.
And if it was a song that we wrote, then you know, one of us would teach everybody, and we'd make good money. That was our hustle. That was our hustle back in the day.
How long do you guys have the band going for?
Man.
And what was the band
For a
called?
while, we had so many names. I don't even remember all of the crazy names we had, but like we had a lot of names. We never really quite stuck to one.
Okay.
But we stayed together for a while, for like maybe until we like moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, Adrian and I moved to Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like we moved to Atlanta maybe like I want to say 2011.
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
Why'd
yeah.
you guys move out to Atlanta?
So that's when he ended up getting signed to Republic.
Got it.
And I was writing all of his stuff, and we just were out there grinding, hustling,
Yeah.
going through all of the studios, and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So, you know, Adrian was the face, but Jane was the words behind the face, you dig? Very talented.
Yeah.
Did you help with 4 a.m. or 2 a.m.?
2 a.m. No, I recorded them. I recorded that song, but that's really the only song I didn't write.
Gotcha.
Literally.
And, you know, before we continue this podcast, you know, as soon as she walked in here, I looked at her crazy because of her hat. But it
Yes.
says make hip-hop great again.
We have to. We have to. I literally get looks everywhere. When I was in New York, people was like taking a second look, like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Yeah. It's
Well,
crazy.
because even in the Bay, don't they have, they had this shirt that said, make America hyphy again.
I would love that shirt. If you can tell me where that shirt, I definitely would get it.
Yeah, I would get that shit too. But then them shit sold out super quick. I'm like, yo, that if I was gonna wear anything, it would be that shirt, man.
Literally.
You know, I love the Bay Area so much, and I'm sure you do too. But it's
Yeah.
like it's one of those spots. The same way you and Adrian like left for Atlanta. Like you can't be there for too long.
Yeah. I mean, I always, it's home for me. So, I can always go back. And when I really need to regroup or unplug and just kind of take time for myself, I always go back home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's somewhere I stop through and then I'm out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but
Bay Area got the best weed.
we do have the best weed. We absolutely do. That's on record.
Yo, yeah, no, for sure. Because I remember coming down here the first time. I'm over here hitting this shit like,
Nah.
is it hitting yet? Like, where we at?
That's how we were in Atlanta. It was bad in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah. We smoked a lot of weed to just compensate for,
Oh my
you know,
God.
a nice little Bay Area
Is
situation.
So is like smoking like your pre-ritual before like getting into the booth?
You know what's crazy is I don't smoke nearly as much as I used to. I do edibles though.
Oh, you're a champ.
I do edibles for sure. I definitely do edibles, but smoking had kind of started messing up with my throat, my vocals.
Yeah.
So, my doctor was like, there's other solutions for what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. So, yeah, I used to be like a joint type girl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you have like any crazy edible stories?
I've had like
She's like, well, there's this one, there's this one, and that one.
I'll tell you about the most recent.
Okay.
This was like maybe 2 weeks ago, if that. I had got it delivered to me, and legally, because that kind of sounded really, really sus, really sus.
We were in the alley,
right. I was. It was legally delivered, and I started eating the strips. It was like the sour straw, strips. And I ate like 5 of them, and I looked at the bag. It said 1,000 milligrams, and each strip was 100 milligrams each. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was high for 2 days, for sure.
That's crazy.
All through the airport, all through, yeah.
2 days?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were about to say you took 1,000 milligrams of that thing, because I'm like, yo.
No, I've been close on accident, yeah.
Yeah. I think as of most recently, I ended up taking one of those, like, Mexican candies. And it was over at, like, one of these, like, a reggae event, right? So I just kept on, like, eating it. I'm just like, yo, ain't none of this hitting right now. And I'm so bad with edibles.
Because you always think it's not hitting.
Yeah,
until
exactly.
It hits.
So then I killed it off, right? And then at the end of it, that's when I finally looked. And I was like, how much is in here? And it was, like, 50 milligrams. And I was like, fuck. 2 hours later, I got stoned out of my mind. And it was like 8 o'clock at that time. Then by the time I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, I was still high.
Literally, those edible highs are like weird. They're nothing to play with.
Yeah, long lasting.
Yes.
So, Jane, what was it like for you growing up in Oakland?
And
what part of Oakland? Because, we got northeast, west.
Right. So, okay, so I was born in Oakland. I was raised in Richmond, like all of my childhood years up until high school.
Where the Yee originated, by the way.
Yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yay!
Literally, the Yee is from Richmond, California. And I have to say California because, people think it's Virginia.
It could be,
Richmond, California. It was fun. I definitely had a childhood. I grew up in the hood too, so I saw some things that were like real hood like. But my mom kept me in like programs. She kept me in church. She kept me just always singing and drawing and acting or something like that. She always kept me doing that.
She hella kept you active.
Yeah.
Were you in choir too?
Yes, I was in choir.
There you go.
Yes, I was in choir. I used to take it super, super serious for a minute. Yeah. I was like real glee clubbish. Yeah.
Did your mom take you to church like every Sunday?
Yeah, because my grandmother kind of had us like bred into church in that particular church. So everybody knew me and my family, and I always led the little songs and stuff like that. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and so like being active in like the singing community and like the acting community, when did you start to take all that seriously?
I'll probably say high school.
Okay.
When I started really writing my own songs, I instantly went into this program that taught teens how to like record themselves and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I was going to the studio with my uncle. Shout out to my uncle. He taught me how to really sit down and record myself at like 16. So I've been like recording songs since high school.
See, we need more programs like that in the schools, man, because it's like even where I went to an all-boys, like, Catholic high school.
Oh, word.
And, they threw us, like, religion class, bio, and all that, but then nothing really geared towards the arts.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you say that. I still go back to my old high school, and I still, teach the kids whenever I can, give them game on just industry stuff because they're so talented.
Yeah.
And I'm also with the academy, with the recording academy, so I'm always, like, really gunning for, more opportunities in schools for music and stuff like that. Amazing. I'm big on that, yeah.
So, seeing as how, like, your uncle had a studio, like, that's just not, like, a normal thing. Like, who's your uncle?
Well, he's actually one of my partners in my LLC. His name is Uncle Andre, a.k.a. Kryptonite, and he was a rapper in Oakland.
Okay.
And he just taught me, everything he knew, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in that setting, like, at such an early pace, did you feel like you kind of just, like, had to keep on going with the music?
I wanted to. It's just in me. I just have fun when I create. And I always want to just be in a space where the energy is just light and, I'm not to say fun, but just, where the energy isn't pressing you on a negative standpoint.
Yeah.
So, creating always, is dope to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good to be in a room with a whole bunch of creatives who can kind of just like toss ideas around. I mean, I know some people like go into a studio with like a specific purpose.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes you need those sessions where you're just like, all right, what are we doing today?
Literally. And I mean, every time I go into that, I'm very unorthodox when I create. I don't have like, unless it's really, a paid type of thing,
Yeah.
and it's really kind of strict on that. I always go in, just with an open mind, and I come out with stuff dope.
So were you recording like Bay Area artists at that time, like when you were young? Or,
No.
not just Bay Area artists, but like
Yeah.
artists in general.
I honestly got I learned from just recording myself and recording Adrian. It was at one point we were doing like 3 songs a day when we were in Atlanta.
Wow.
Just to, just train ourselves to be ready for any type of session. So those were my training backgrounds, was just myself and Adrian, and we just keep it pushing like that.
Yeah.
To where it's so easy now.
Yeah. Because then I think artists need to realize that one song isn't going to do it. You kind of have to go through
You gotta keep it
over and
going.
over again.
Yeah.
So how many songs do you think you and Adrian have together, or at least that you've
Ooh.
worked on?
Child. Probably like over 500.
500 songs.
Yeah,
That's
over 500
crazy.
for sure. Yeah.
So then how'd you guys press everything down to GMFU? Because that's only 8 songs or something like that?
Yeah, I wanted to say it's around there. I forgot how many songs. We just kind of ride around. We ride around a lot. Well, not as of lately because we've both been super busy and traveling, but our formula is we ride around and we just vibe and see which ones really hit us. The ones that we're like, yo, play that back.
Yeah.
Let's put that to the side, and stuff like that. So it's
Gotcha.
like we kind of know, what hits, what vibes hit.
Yeah. And it's just bread and butter after that.
Yeah.
So then, you get a lot of practice in, songwriting for Adrian, but, how come now? I mean, you just released your project, Summer Type Flow.
Yes.
Dope, by the way.
Thank you.
Before we get into this conversation, I want to tell you my favorite song off of it, man. Of course, the Spotify is going to be super slow.
Spotify always does that, literally. Shout out to Spotify, though. You guys are super dope.
Yeah, no, it's dope. Look at that. Even Jane got 16,000 monthly listeners. Just popping. I think my favorite song would probably be My Thing.
Yeah.
It just hit in such a bouncy way, and whenever a Bay Area term like hyphy gets thrown on, I'm naturally just yes.
Because it's so true.
I miss it.
That era was so lit.
It was fun.
It was the hippie era. If you were not, you had to be from there to get it.
Yeah.
We were the new age hippie era.
Being in Oakland, were you around sideshows a lot?
Yeah, I did go. Look, I probably shouldn't even say because I wasn't allowed to, but I did go. I went to a lot of teen parties, and a lot of concerts.
Oh my God,
it was fun.
The teen parties in the Bay were so ratchet.
It was fun. We all thought we were super grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's crazy because going to Bay parties now, it doesn't hit the same. It's weird.
It doesn't. I feel like we done all got a little older, and we're just
Yeah.
Well, people have moved.
Yeah. Everyone. I mean, even Oakland's getting gentrified, dude.
Literally.
I remember going there for the Warriors parade a couple years ago, and I just kept on looking around Oakland looks so different now.
It is. It's super different.
How do you feel about that?
I just applaud those who are just keeping the culture, keeping the music alive. We need that. It's honestly hidden everywhere. So I just salute those who are just keeping the, culture of Oakland and what we stood for and what we stand for alive,
Yeah.
For sure.
Is there any Bay Area rappers who have tapped in with you?
Yeah. I've worked with Irk the Jerk.
Irk the Jerk?
Yeah. Well, no, excuse me, Kevin Allen. Let me put some respect on his name. Kevin Allen.
Jerk.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in hell long. What was the song? I just want to fuck you
Right
right here.
here.
Yeah. Shout out Irk the Jerk, man, or
Yeah.
Kevin Allen at this point.
Yes. Fab, of course you gotta like tap in with Mr. Fab. Um, I'm I'm gonna just put it on record. I definitely want to do a song with Jay Stallin. So
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay. But isn't he from like Stockton though?
no, he's from West Oakland.
He's from Oakland. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
my bad. My bad, Stalin.
Nah, yeah, like he just honestly cracks me up, motivates me on Instagram, and I really legit used to slap his music like all the time. Even
Yeah.
when he like puts a new album out, I'm always listening to it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think he just dropped something not too long ago.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to listen to it though, but
He's dope.
I'm sleeping just a little bit. Have you had any like conversations with Fab?
Yeah, we were just in the studio right before I left for New York. So that was maybe like 2.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's always like, he's silly. He's an Aquarius, and we're both Aquarians. So
you're
You know.
January, right?
February.
February. Oh, you're the February Aquarian.
Yeah.
So that means you're the first half of February.
Mm-hmm.
So let me take a guess. February 7th?
That's crazy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
For real? I totally guessed that. For
Yeah,
real?
literally, that's what I was just like, yeah, February 7th.
Hey, man, look.
He's crazy.
I'm
He's
going to
really,
leave.
really dope.
I'm going to, like, fill out a lottery sheet or something, you know what I mean?
Because he has crazy intuition, crazy, like, yeah.
Yeah.
February 7th.
Are you, like, super... That's so crazy. Are you, like, super into, like, the horoscope stuff?
I'm not, like, heavy into it to where I am, but I'm not. But then I am. Because there's certain signs that I will not date.
Ah. So then who are you not compatible with?
Cancers.
Okay. Crab, so that's like
Yeah.
what, June, July or something like
Yeah.
that? July?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how I know all of
Beginning of
this.
July. What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
So my girlfriend's also an Aquarius too.
Mm.
So she was saying how like the air sign for Aquarius is very compatible with the water sign because it's literally just two opposites.
Yeah, and we're like the water carrier of our air sign, so we're emotional. We're probably the most emotional out of our air sign crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I'm just fucking with you.
Nah, but yeah, cancers are probably the only sign out.
Yeah. There's like this, like one of my boys is working on like a whole book where he's basically comparing everybody in rap and hip hop with their signs.
That's dope.
So he proves.
That's dope.
So like for instance, like YG is a Pisces, and he proves
can see
why
that.
he can work well with someone like a 2 Chainz, Nicki Minaj, and Big Sean on a Big Make. And it's all just based off signs.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
And it's like I didn't become like a firm believer of like the signs up until that moment.
Until you really kind of like see, it's deep.
Yeah,
It's
it gets
really
deep. And for me, it's kind of like whatever somebody's beliefs are, you can't necessarily knock it.
Yeah,
is what
for
I'm
sure.
getting at.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But nah, it's deep.
So, seeing as how you were songwriting for Adrian for such a long time, like, why is it now you decide to come out with your own music?
I've always, just recorded songs for me and just had them, sitting. I wrote for him and just other artists as well and worked with a whole bunch of producers to where I was just like, I kind of want to do it for me. A lot of people were always asking me, who's that singing in the demo? And yeah, it was just like, you know what? I kind of want to do it. And I was never shy when I was younger. Like I was always on stage performing. It was never nothing like foreign to me. So, it was almost just like I wanted to get my foot in the door writing and working with people. And then it went from let me just soak up game to, okay, I want to step out.
So you kind of just like really took your time with it. And
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you really took your time to understand the industry and all aspects of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then understanding that it's, it's all about timing and, time comes and it goes. So it's just about being, prepared for your time.
But what made now like the perfect time? Like, was there like a specific trigger that said like, I'm really going to start doing this?
Yeah. I think, I'm just comfortable in my artistry. You know, I'm comfortable being an artist. I had to find my style, my sound, my everything. And that kind of just separated me from just being a songwriter. Because when you're a songwriter, you're writing for other people's, you know, situations and perspectives. So, you know, I had to find what my true perspective was and how I wanted to do things. Because I can do a lot of things, but I wanted to make sure that my sound was authentic. It was something that I could perform, something that I could just, you know, have fun doing for real.
Yeah. Well, that's why even listening to your project, like, there's so many different levels to it. Like, you know, like, sometimes you'll have a slow song, and then you'll have something that's, you know, a little bit more bouncy.
Yeah.
And then you'll have something that's a lot more serious that was, like, geared towards the end.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, it's like, seeing as how that was one of the first projects that you put out, like, it kind of gives me, like, a sample size of what you can really do as an artist.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. What's your favorite song on the album?
It'd have to be probably Fuck It Up.
Fuck It Up?
Yeah.
F-U-G, right?
Yeah.
Was that like a purposeful thing?
Yeah, it was. You know, sometimes I just spell, you know, I didn't want to like be so vulgar. So I just like put a G there.
Fuck it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start saying that. It's like,
Fuck
no,
it
I said
up.
fug.
Fuck it up.
Fuck it up. So who's like your favorite like Bay Area artist that you grew up on?
It'll have to be Raphael.
Raphael Sadiq?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Why?
He's just, I feel like I can relate to him in a lot of ways. He's somebody who is very good with timing as well. And, you know, he definitely stays in just creative mode to where, you know, when it's time for him to come and do his thing, he does. And he's not afraid to be eclectic, regardless of where he's come from. And he's very, very just cultural. I love just sitting and talking about like real life with him because he always has some dope stories. So I feel like he's somebody that I aspire to be like in this industry. He's had a long career. You know, he's still at it, still going strong. And I aspire to do that. I aspire to be somebody for the long haul and not, you know, I don't have to be popular all the time, but somebody who's just consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, because nowadays we see this wave of like artists popping off like the next day.
He literally told me that yesterday. He was just saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, you know, keep going. It's a marathon.
Everybody's literally just, you know, trying to beat everybody off that first jump. But even to that point, it's like, I literally just had an artist in here. His name's Emilio Rojas, and he's been like rapping for over like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to him about how like the problem is that when you come out with like a song that's like super poppin', you have to eclipse that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that can't be your best song. But if you're doing like music for years and years and years, you're like slowly grabbing 10 people on day 1, slowly grabbing 5 people on day 2, 15 people on day 3, and then you like slowly build your fan base to the point where, you know, they just fuck with you because of like this long catalog of music that you've built for yourself.
For sure. And I mean, it's better in the long haul when, you know, it comes to streaming, when it comes to everything, because all people do is go back and listen to your old stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's been working in my favor for me. I wanted to definitely have a year where I was just putting out music constantly, just to kind of show people that there's so many diverse sides, you know, of me. And I wanted them to go back because that's the goal, is to, you know, kind of strike for people to just go back and see what I've been doing. So
yeah. So then how do you separate you songwriting for other people versus writing for your own music?
I just know what's mine and what's somebody else's. Like, and I'm not selfish, you know, if the situation is right or if the artist is super, super just dope. I like to work with artists who can deliver. So I'm not somebody who's like pressed or thirsty for like a placement if it's gonna like knock my dignity or an integrity off. But
salute to you.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know, like I just I go with what feels right. So, you know, if the song is somebody else's, I know it is, and, you know, vice versa.
Mm-hmm. So who, aside from Adrian, who else have you written for?
Kelly Rowland.
Oh.
Kelly Price is just one of my favorite singers. Shout out to her. Kelly Rowland, Keke Palmer, Rick Ross, Raphael Sadiq, Waka Flocka, Bobby Valentino, Tank. There's so many.
Jesus
I worked
Christ.
a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I worked with a
That's
lot
so
of
many
people.
placements.
Yeah, for sure.
And
The
you're all-
Bonfire, shout out to her. I wrote for her, and I got to work with her, especially when she was like first kind of gearing up for her run and her stardom. So
Yeah. And have you worked with all the aforementioned people like in the studio, or was it something where you guys just laid out a demo and then threw it over?
Most of it was I got to get in with them. You know,
wow.
yeah. Most of it was.
Who was the mind-blowing one to get in with?
Probably the placement for Apple of My Eye with, you know, Raphael and Rick Ross. I didn't even know really Rick's side of it until, you know, Raphael called and was like, yo, come and, you know, write this. Da, da, da. He called me at like midnight too. And we wrote the hook and the bridge. And yeah, I'll never forget that night. It was dope.
Yeah. Wait, you just came in and you're like,
I was tired.
oh, Rick Ross.
Yeah, literally. He was like, yeah, no, it's going to be a Rick Ross joint. I was like, cool, let's go. Let's do it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So seeing as how Summer Type Flow is out now, what do you do since it's still like a hot girl summer per se? How do you celebrate your hot girl summers?
I feel like I've had a hot girl summer for years. But I have fun with my friends. I date. I spend time with me. I'm not afraid to be alone. You know, some people are like, so, you know, where they have to be around people. I will go on a trip by myself. So those are like my favorite things.
Did you take that trip to New York by yourself?
No, no. It was actually a press run we had to do. So
Got you.
Yeah.
So then where have you traveled to by yourself?
Monterey.
That's still far. That's like 3 hours away from the Bay. People don't know that.
Yeah, for sure. LA, of course. I've traveled to Berlin by myself.
Berlin?
I mean, I met someone there, but it was still by myself.
Well, how was that?
It was fun. I stayed there for a month.
A whole month?
Yeah. Yes.
So what do you do within that month span?
Me and Keke, shout out to Keke Palmer. She's one of my best friends. We did a mixtape while we were out there. She was filming, and I was coming out there, you know, just to hang with my girl. And she was like, yo, we should do a mixtape. You know, we both do music. We both are talented, and we write. And we were like, cool. So we got some equipment. I brought my stuff. Yeah, we recorded.
Damn. Wait, is that mixtape out?
Yes. It came out
Shit.
probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
for
going to have to
sure.
go back and backtrack and listen to that one.
Yeah, so we're probably going to do something in the future once our schedules, like, stop being so busy. But we definitely got to, like, resurface that. It was fun. It was cool.
So, you know, right now, are you working with anybody else in the studio who you're songwriting for?
Right now, no. I definitely get called to turn in, like, songs for placements. So, you know, we'll see if those placements hit. But right now, I've just been working on a new project that I'm going to come out with probably winter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more R&B feels.
What's that, winter type flow?
winter type flow. Something like that,
Something like that?
Yeah.
You got a title for it?
Not yet. I just know what it's going to be definitely R&B. It's so crazy because people are calling me a female rapper now who can sing, which is dope.
Female rapper who can sing.
It's dope. It's dope, but I'm just like, dang, I've actually let people believe that I'm a rapper. So let me go back to
That's crazy.
doing what I really, really love to do.
Doing like the soulful shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you feel being like labeled under such a niche category, because some people have that thing where it's like, I don't want to be labeled as a Asian rapper. I don't want to be labeled as a female rapper. I just want to be a rapper.
I don't care what people call me, to be honest. I know how to do a lot of things other than even what I've put out. So, I don't really go by anything. I just call myself an entity. I'm an artist. I can do a lot of things. So I don't really care what people know me by, as long as, they're feeling it and vibing with it.
As long as the message gets across.
Yeah,
I like that. Good for you. I also fuck with your nails, too. I felt like I was shaking a claw.
It's like my superpower. I don't want to cut them now.
Right. Jane Handcock, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at HandcockJ, HandcockJay. Both sites, you can Google me, Jane Handcock.
And, check out that Summertime Flow.
Yeah, Summertime Flow.
Flow.
I'm on all streaming platforms. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
There we go.
Yes.
This is The Lunch Table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico Blitz, Jane Handcock, and we're out, everybody. Yee!
Yes.
You got to hit the yee.
Yee!